Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander Shepard, my name is Nasana Dantius. I have a job for you. I can't say any more in an unsecured communication. If you're interested in hearing my offer, meet me on the Citadel so we can talk in person. I'll be waiting in the Diplomat's Lounge on the Presidium.
Awesome. Welcome. We are here in the Han system in order to finish off some evildoers in terms of crime lords that we have left over. We literally had, I think, the longest video so far. Last time out, got some Mason Brothers over scanning. Last time out, I think that was like 2 hours almost. Like, it was extremely long. That was rough. It was a rough time out. What planet was it? Was it this one? No, it was that one. So we're going to just make sure that there's no, like, no asteroids or anything. Okay, cool. So there's a level 2 cold hazard. Means it's gotta be safe and sound. We're going to head down and really just hammer on these good old, you know, side missions before we head off to Novaria and or Theros. I'm kind of feeling Theros first because we've been on like now 2 snow planets. I think a 3rd snow planet so far. Be a little bit of an overkill, if anything. I think we should head over to that debris. Up, left here? Yeah. So we are here to axe a syndicate hideout. We're gonna yoink some of the debris back there and then head forward up to the hideout. Mission plan. Just have to get around this mountain before we can do anything. There we go. Watch it like be up on the mountain, and I'm just confused now. I'm not going up the mountain. Moving along, we're getting some of this base done. There we go. Good job. Fantastic. We're gonna get there. We're gonna do whatever we need to do. Before we do that, as soon as we get there, we're gonna pop out and level up. We are, and Ashley is going to walk with us today. Yeah. Whee! Successful driver. I don't like these like large open cavernous sections here because I think there's a thresher maw just gonna pop up again. I assume it's up there, but let's go down just to check. Thank God. Okay. Crouch probe. Ah. My electronic skill is too low. Well, what if we upgrade people and see what happens there? Alright, how do we get to overload? Alright. Now what we're gonna do, fill you up! Just get all the electronics. Yeah! Gonna give him 2 points, a barrier, a warp. There we go. I think Ashley's game plan is pretty straightforward. Load her up on the AR. Get rid of her, like, like up and ready. Give her some immunity, some combat armor. Like, we're just gonna pump her full of, like, being a boss. And just a damage. She's just straight damage team. I don't even think I have first aid. There we go. Now I have first aid. I'm gonna get heavy armor just so I can equip it when we eventually pick some up. And then I'm gonna go back into speccing into sniper rifles and ARs. Kind of the game plan. We're gonna save right there as well. Now, how's my electronic skill? Perfect. Awesome. Alright. Oh my god, come on. Oh. Alright. Okay. What? There we go. Got it. Easy. Ooh! I'm inside! I forgot. Well, we probably picked up some new equipment. Let's check it out. See if we got anything useful. By useful, I mean anything that's better than what I have and or... Oh, like this. Perfect, right? Easy. Yoink. Big boy armor. Ashley can now get this armor. Liara, I don't think can take any armor because she's a light armor gal. You know? You should load her up on like... do we want to just bulldoze her with the old... I think we do. I think we just want to stack her up with damage bonuses. I have armor piercing rounds 1. Alright, perfect. Love it. Alright, perfect. Now I can't save? Okay, apparently I'm in combat. That's why I can't. But we are to go to there. So... here we go. Straight shot to the Syndicate hideout is where we are to go. Yes it is, yes it is, yes it is. What adventure we must take here today, right? Right. I hate the like hazard worlds. Those suck the most, because like traveling for the most part, while it's cool and nice to like see stuff, when you run into worlds like this which are just really tall mountain, really flat land, and then combat section, it's like, oh, it feels like a slog to have to go through, and they're on the other side of this mountain, right? Like, yeah. Stuff like that, right? Like I wish the map had a bit more verticality to it than this map at the bottom there. I wish that was a little more distinct. missions before we do. How about it? And apparently it gets really cool. There we go. Alright, we'll save again in case we get bopped on our way in. Apparently we have a squad upgrade. I will deal with that as we go. Here we are. Squad upgrade for myself. Like I said, let's see. I guess we should get, yeah. So that'd be actually very helpful to have. 1, 2, 3. No, I want to keep upping snipers. Put 1 into shotguns. Oof, the 100 and 180 HP. Big. Like I said, I guess just keep her in the old advanced barrier, singularity, and get her singularity. Basically, just get all the biotic powers. Like ASAP is kind of my play, because then I have the most utility for using them. Ashley has her AR. Liara has her striker. Is the pistol the best she's got? Is that her gun? I mean, she's like awful with all the guns, basically, is what we gathered. Ashley, Liara. Told Liara to go there. She is there. All right, sure. Okay. Liara. Post up. Or down, away. Both of you with. Next room has bad guys. Okay, so let's. Sure. Oh god. Oh, it's a Krogan. Get Dunkaroo. Okay, Ash, just actually go to your spot, please. Up there. Liara got dunked on. Why is he so strong? Krogan, I forgot. Forgot Krogan kinda strong. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on calling Liara back up. Yeah, get him. Get in there, glass cannon Ashley. Yeah. Ashley shredding. Get post up. Sure, do that. Just shoot all your bullets. Okay, you know what? You stay where you are, alright? I'm really working with a 1 squaddy right now. Alright, you know what? I'll bring her up. Let's get it. Let's get Unity going. I'll pop up Assassin Nishon. You gonna pop up yet? I literally popped Unity specifically for this. Alright. I see the game just decided to like not peek. Okay, Ashley finally going to where she's. Can I vault? I can't vault in this game. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Just had to make sure. Ah! Ashley, go flank around. Liara, take mid. I'll go far right. Collapse on this nerd. Liara, if you could lift the guy, but... Boom. Alright, that's both of them. Helena Blake will be overjoyed. 2 scum are no longer a problem. Hostile takeover. Horsehead Nebula Fortuna system. Alright, we should be good to loot up. Having Glass Cannon Ashley, very cool. Very strong character. I don't think Ash can take any hits at all, but god damn is she able to just go to town. Alright, decryption skill too low for that medical station. That's fine. That is an L I decided to take when not bringing along any techie friends. A technician kit though, that's helpful. Some med kits, get some Medigel. I think I do kind of, as squad leader, team leader, I have to invest in the health of my squaddy. And so, I don't know why I brought that out. So I do kind of have to get the first aid kind of all the way up, so that way my team doesn't get absolutely just wiped every 5 seconds in higher levels. I do need Liara to get like any armor at all. Literally any armor would be beneficial for her. I think we're done in this cluster. Personally, I think we've gone through and surveyed everything before coming here, so I think we should be okay to leave. And we already looked at the debris and everything, so we should all be fine. Easy peasy. Well, I'm just gonna do like one check to make sure we're handling part of it. But that was like, you're not gonna say survey, are you? No. And you're not gonna say survey, are you? No. Perfect. And you're not gonna say survey, are you? No. And you're not gonna say survey, are you? No. Okay, perfect, bro. Perfect. See if we can find the horse head. Supposed to go to that one first. Oh.
Commander, urgent message from Alliance Command coming in. I'll patch it through.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett from Alliance Command.
Got it.
We've got a situation here, and you're the only one that can handle it.
What do you need, Admiral?
There's an Alliance training ground where we test weapons and technology in live fire simulations. One of the VIs we use to simulate enemy tactics in the drills is no longer responding to our override commands. It's gone rogue.
Are you telling me this computer is thinking on its own?
We're not stupid, Shepard. This is a virtual intelligence, not a true AI. It's not self-aware, and it can't access any external systems. We didn't do anything illegal here. Virtual intelligence support is critical to our military success. VIs process thousands of status reports and react in nanoseconds. No human can do that. We need you to fight your way through the training ground to the VI core and manually disable it.
Don't worry, Admiral. I'll take that thing out.
I know Spectres answer the Council, but you're still human. You're still part of the Alliance military, and right now we need you. The VI controls all the facility's weapons, drones, and automated defenses. You're the only one that can pull this off, Shepard. Good luck.
Cool, I guess. I'm gonna get wrecked. Turret insignia, very cool. Rare element, very cool. Nothing, very cool. Land, yep. Let's go with Glass Cannon Ash. And, do Garrus. No, I like the biotics are too strong. To Sony. Biotics are so powerful in the entire series. If you get biotics, you just rock. It's game over. You got this. Got more area map. I'm here to the debris. Make it still extremely bouncy, not as bouncy as the old days. In the old days, I would have flipped over 17 times by now. It's okay though. It's alright. Survive. Onwards to some debris. Let's get this investigation. A probe of some sort. Crashed probe. Incendiary rounds. Ooh.
Ready. Say
I'm
the
trying to
word.
get back in. Awesome. Some incendiary and anomaly over in that direction. Oh, we have to hop through. Okay. Ooh, don't go in the hole. Don't go in the hole. Be with me. There we go. Perfect. Easy. No trouble at all. Perfectly all not a single problem in sight. Nope. Easy. What the hell is this thing? Looks like some ancient debris. Looks like a couch that got tipped over. Recover. Okay, I'm recovering artifacts. Bang. A Turian insignia, of course. Of course, it's always a Turian insignia. How many of those have we gotten? Have we not found them all? Okay, so the rogue VI that we just got is for Earth's moon. We have like 7 protein data disks, I guess. Oh my god, we have only 6 of 13. Ooh. There's like 7 more of those. God, this is awful. But you see, like, the first Mass Effect is kind of like super full of a lot of these like busy fetch quest things that I really hate. And like, it's super hard to find them as well. Like, you literally have to look at all the planets in every cluster, in every like galaxy. Like, system, solar system. It sucks, man. It really does. It's not fun to do. Have to go through, and it's just time padding. That's all it is. It's just there to pad the game length. If they like made it like a one-stop shop, it's easy in and out, no problems here. I'm happy to do it. But they're just like, we're gonna make it so goddamn annoying for you to go anywhere and do anything. Okay? Cool. Fantastic now. Okay. Alright. In we go. Alright, let's see if we can walk and just talk.
Hello again, Commander Shepard. I owe you a debt of gratitude.
You surely do.
With my former partners dead, this syndicate is now mine. I could not have done it without you.
Those men deserve to die. Now, are we going to have a problem?
Not if I can help it, Commander. I hope you can see that I am by far a lesser evil than those men. Under my leadership, this organization will restrict itself to gambling and smuggling illegal technologies. There will be no drugs and no slave-taking for the Batarians. Those days are over.
I wish I could say walk away. But, then we're fine.
In that case, you're free to go. But if I find you in any slavery operations, I'll take you down without hesitation.
You won't. This organization can be quite profitable without trafficking in slaves or drugs. Here's your payment. I'm certain that you'll find it more than adequate.
Thank you,
Now,
Miss
if you'll
Blake.
excuse me, my men become nervous in the presence of law enforcement agents. Goodbye, Shepard.
Goodbye, Miss Blake. Awesome. Cool. That's all we have to do in this world, I believe. Everything else is checked off. All the boxes were ticked. There you go. That's how easy it is to get this done. Now that we have done a mission or two, point defense systems, yoink. It's time we talk to the crew. Heat load. Oof, hot load. And the new Joker?
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You
Yeah,
won
we've
top
heard
of my
this
class in
before.
flight school.
We've heard
earned
this
Sorry, Joe.
before.
Put the Normandy in my hands.
I have to go.
All right, see
We've
ya.
heard it before. Ah. I haven't talked to Liara. I assume Nick Presley doesn't have anything else to say. But we should be like set on like Rex and everybody. I think we're gonna do like a one pass on them. The deeper investigative things are not at all a problem. Caden might have more to say. But I know since we picked up Liara, we haven't talked with her yet. Caden is gonna scratch his head, say anything you need.
Anything you need, Commander?
Yep, we're gonna ask him for personal input.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Off the record.
All right. Let's label it officially off the record. Got something on your mind?
Straight up, there's something wrong with all of this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element zero in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Seems like you beat the odds. How many didn't make it?
Out of 100, maybe 60 have no effect. 30 suffer adverse effects, little things like brain cancer. The other 10 show enough ability to augment with implants. Not always permanent, though. Not like the cancer. Next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero. And how's a kid supposed to deal with that? A station at the edge of human space.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Aw, Kaden!
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Understood, Alenko.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you
Same
need?
stuff, got it.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Looking like a vampire in the dark.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
so am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
I think we asked her who her father was, and about Asari culture.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Perfect. So we've done that. I think we head down, talk to everybody, see what they're doing, then head back to another star system and investigate. Take a peek at Garas.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
So what was it?
Both, actually. But it took us a while to figure that out.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Yeah? Go on.
One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs. But they wouldn't listen.
Well, it's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Perfect.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Are you interested in the Lieutenant Chief?
Of course not, sir. Fraternization is against regulations. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
All over. Same as you, I expect. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
I was an only child, but I get the idea. At least one of my parents was always on duty.
Yeah, military families, eh? With schedules like that, it's a wonder we ever have kids anymore. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Sounds like that situation didn't last.
Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand-to-hand.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Ooh. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
I thought you said he was dead.
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter. Only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who were really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Dismissed,
I
Chief.
don't understand why Ashley's gotta be so weird about it.
Sir.
Like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it.
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard? I've got some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
Who has it?
Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Taun Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Just tell me where to start looking.
I'll upload the data to your nav system. But Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Alright, we have a talk with Tally to have, and then we'll wrap up. Okay.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Steren's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
What are you hoping to find?
Usually, people bring back something like a derelict ship we can use for salvage. But I need something bigger. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet.
My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now, I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with. And he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant. Like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it, not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
Alright, so with that, I think we've come to a close with this harrowing chapter. What I am gonna do for sure is like all of the, let's see, where is it? Like the Prothean data discs, the signs of battle, the Asari writings, the minerals, the insignias, all of that stuff I'm absolutely just gonna do off camera, essentially. But like the unusual readings, the strange transmission, the fan, whatever that leads to, the diplomacy, rogue VI, sailing on the family armor, missing Marines, all of that stuff I will do on camera, but the really boring find the thing scavenger hunt stuff I'm gonna do off on my own, because that's super boring for you, I feel. And it causes everything to be a lot longer than it really needs to be, so I'm gonna do all of that outside of us and our little chats and our adventures together. And, you know, I will hopefully get you guys back specifically onto the questing side of things, where the stories occur and the combat happens, the more interesting bits, rather than having to slog through watching me do scavenger hunts. So yeah, that will occur pretty much moving forward. I will see you all in the next day, next time we play together. Farewell, my friends.